What is going on, everybody? Welcome to DSM Pregame Live, Phillies Nationals Preview. I'm your host, Dylan Davis. You can check me out on Twitter at DylanJD98. And my co-host for tonight, my man Phil Stifel. He is the host of Trending in the AM and Fairway to Heaven here on DSM Media. Check him out on Twitter at Beard of Knowledge as we stream to you guys live here through our Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube channel. So if you're new to the channel, head on over to at DSM_media on Twitter. Hit that follow button. Check out our link tree in our bio. It'll take you here to our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok account, wherever you get your social media content. We are everywhere. And if you guys want to be involved in tonight's pregame show, like I said, specifically head on over to the YouTube channel. That's where we're really trying to grow. And it's where you guys can be most interactive throughout the show with us. And we can pull your comments right up on the screen. Phil, twice in one day, man. Talking to you a lot this week. What's up?
Yo, it's like this is Team DSM right here. Me and Dylan going live. Yeah, hey, cheers.
Happy hour with Phil.
That one's empty. Let's go to the full one here.
There we go. I forgot a lime, dude. I was rushing before the show. No lime.
Limes? Come on. That's the way to go. No limes. No. NFL. No effing limes. That's the way I order my Coronas.
So you're a Corona man.
I'm a Corona
man. You
man.
refuse to put limes in your Corona.
Absolutely. Any beer that needs fruit to make it taste better is not good beer then. Do you know where the lime came from, Dylan?
No.
It wasn't because of flavor. Originally, when Corona first started, it was actually still brewed in Mexico when it first was created. And the breweries the warehouse was so dirty, the lime cleaned the top, and sanitized the top before you drank it. That's why the lime first started with the Corona.
And then what? It tasted a little bit better to the people, and they started adding
people,
it
not to me. Not to me. I think it ruins the beer. I like mine limeless.
Enough Corona talk, Phil. Let's get into tonight's Phillies Nationals game. Noah Syndergaard makes his debut in a Phillies uniform, as well as Brandon Marsh, and Gene Segura returns reinstated from the 60-day injured list earlier on today. But that's not all that happens. Didi's gone.
Yeah.
So how much of a shock was that to you? We talked about Herrera's finally gone. Familia's finally gone. Is this organization finally turning the page on guys that didn't work out?
That is the absolute key right there. It's about time that the franchise starts turning the page right there. I was shocked when I saw Didi got, released
DFA'd,
today.
Yeah.
Because it seemed too easy for them to just send down to the minors.
Oh yeah, they didn't even DFA him. I forgot.
They could have sent Munoz down to the minor leagues or something like that. They didn't have to release Didi, and I'm just really surprised because this organization has done for a very long time. They've done the
hold on too long pieces that
guys that had great success in the past, but not now. I'm blown away. I'm super excited about it, but I'm blown away that is actually what they did, because that is not like the last 3 to 5 years of Phillies baseball for them to do that. And that to me is one of the biggest positives going forward the rest of this year, but also into the offseason and next year.
Right.
That they're thinking differently now in that front office. The old regime is gone. Dombrowski's finally getting his footing in that front office. Middleton's letting Dombrowski work and do things his way. I'm excited based off of that Didi move.
But with Didi specifically, because we know where he came from, we know who his longtime manager was.
Right.
Does that tell you how much control Joe Girardi had over not just the day-to-day stuff, but the team and the organization as a whole? Because we talked about it on Trending earlier. Stott should have the everyday job now with Gene back, but is it going to be a platoon? Is Thompson going to keep Didi in the lineup more often than not? Now you know the answer to that. Everybody that, it seems like Rob Thompson, this organization, feels the same way as a majority of this fan base does. And Joe Girardi obviously doesn't have that control to keep him in the lineup.
I want to address Parcero's comment here. Thank you, Didi. Didi was nothing but the professional. I mean, he did the drop
great.
off.
Seems like a great guy.
From 2020 to now, the drop off was extreme. It was time to move on to make sure Stott gets the everyday reps. But he is literally been the utmost professional in Philly. Even back, that's why
seems like a great teammate too.
As soon as he was released, I saw so many New York Yankee Twitter account saying, yo, I want him back in New York just because of how great of a teammate and a person he is. So, applaud, tip your hat to Didi, whatever. It's going to be sad not to see his walk-up music anymore or hear that there anymore. Yeah. But you know what? It is time. Bryson Stott has
100%.
earned that right to play every day the rest of the year. It was the right move for this organization right now. So, and you're right. Joe Girardi must have had such a hold over this organization to keep someone like Didi and keep platooning them this year.
In the everyday lineup, yeah.
In the everyday lineup. So it's a positive, but also tip of the hat to Didi because you normally hate Yankees. You always hate the Yankees. I don't have any hatred toward Didi. You know what I mean? So,
and I'm honestly going to miss the post-win tweets that he would put out. He had an emoji for everybody. He would come up with these gifts for everybody. I'll miss that, but we'll see if Didi lands a job elsewhere. Moving on.
Real quick, I did for 2 seconds. I put it out there earlier today on Twitter. I got a few responses. Didi, Familia, Herrera. Who's picked up first by another organization?
Wow.
It's got to be Didi because
there's no shot it's Herrera. Pedigree. Let's cancel him out.
Herrera, I actually guarantee next year training camp or spring training, he will be in another city next year. He will be, but not this year. Familia, extremely doubtful unless a team that's like way out of it just needs an innings eater in a bullpen just to get through the season. But I think Didi will be picked up in the next couple of days.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he would be the one.
Playoff experience and his defense and stuff like that.
I think he's absolutely the one. But moving into tonight's matchup, we have, let's hope I don't butcher this name, Paolo Espino on the bump for the Nationals. He's 0-3 with 66 2/3 innings pitched this year. He's got a 3.78, which isn't terrible. 1.24 whip, 50 Ks to 13 walks. Not a terrible ratio there. He's going up against Thor, newly acquired starting pitcher for the Phillies, Noah Syndergaard. It was 5-8 in 80 innings pitched with a 3.83 and a 1.21 whip. On a bad Angels team. Phil, talk to me about the pitching matchup from both sides. Who has the advantage? And just tell me how excited you are that this is the end of the bullpen game era for the Phillies, and we have a viable starter tonight.
I don't think there's a matchup to discuss. Obviously Thor is way more advanced than what's his name again? Because I butchered it this morning. When I said it this morning, I think you did a better job just now. We went over his numbers this morning on the morning show that the guy doesn't get through 5 innings. You know what I mean? It's a guy that we should be able to jump over. And it's kind of crazy because I remember when we brought in Cliff Lee 2 times, Roy Halladay, Roy Oswalt when he got, brought here in a trade. All these guys, even Joe Blanton when he came here for the first time, the excitement I felt for their first start in red pinstripes. I'm feeling that for Noah Syndergaard as well. And it's not like Noah Syndergaard is the Noah Syndergaard of
But
old.
it's the moment. It's the
moment of seeing him.
Yeah.
I am super pumped for Noah tonight and Noah Syndergaard's first start tonight. And I'm really, really expecting and hoping not just because of the lineup that we're facing in Washington, that he's going to be just as juiced as we are as fans. And he's going to be a different 100%. Guy, at least if you remember back when we traded for Cliff Lee the first time.
And he threw a no-hitter in his first
pretty much.
A complete game.
I think his first 4 or 5 starts, he only gave up like 2 runs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Roy Halladay's first season, when he started the year here in 2010, he went 1 run or less, 5 straight starts, because he was just as amped up to play in Philly as we were to have him here. And I kind of have that same feeling about Syndergaard right now. I don't know how it'll work out over the rest of the season. There's 2 months left in the season. He'll have probably 10 starts left. I don't know if it's going to go on like that for 10 starts. But first start against a bad Washington team, he's amped. That crowd is going to be amped. It's going to be hot out there at the bank tonight.
Yeah, I don't know who's got the stones to go sit in this weather tonight to see them play the Nationals, the Juan Soto-less, Josh Bellis Nationals.
No, it's Syndergaard.
Exactly. I'm hoping that CBP is amped.
I bet you last second and walk-up ticket sales rocketed up at that trade deadline. As soon as yesterday when they announced he was going to start today, those sales probably skyrocketed for tonight.
So you mentioned your excitement for his start. And it's the first time you felt this in a while. And I think it's an interesting point because, like I said, it's the moment. It's knowing that the Phillies have a chance to get into the dance, to crack into the playoffs for the first time in over a decade. And he can be a contributor as to why. But it's also for the fact that, listen, we had this conversation. I picked Ranger Suarez to be my 3 at the moment. You said it could be Syndergaard possibly, but that's the point. There's a hope. There's a possibility he could come here and shine and surprise us and end up being much more of a 3-4 rather than a 4-5 type of starter down the stretch. And that's what you're looking for tonight. Again, I get it's the Nationals. So even if he went out and struck out 7, which is 6-7, pitched 6 2/3, 7 innings strong, 1-2 runs, you're going to have to take it with a grain of salt because it is this bad Washington Nationals team. But it would be impressive nonetheless, right? Just like how Aaron Nola was impressive last Sunday against the Pirates. You have to be good against bad teams. You have to beat bad teams if you're a good team.
So you're absolutely spot on with that. You can only beat the teams in front of you,
right?
Whether they're good or bad. You can't give up. Look, I bitched and moaned nonstop about losing those 3 games to the Cubs. You can't do that. So you have to come out tonight and be able to dominate this Nationals team. You should be able to come out and you can make statements against the Braves, and I think last night was a statement win against the Braves with Castellanos, Wheeler, Robertson. There is a such thing as a statement win against a bad team as well.
Well, when you had the mindset like you had against the Pirates, they clearly went in there all business in Pittsburgh and said, we're better than you. We need this series. And they took all 4. You could just tell the offense was rolling. Bailey Falter, Ranger Suarez got all striking out 8+ batters a night. That's the mindset you have to have tonight, especially with what we talked about this morning, that Mets series right around the corner after this 4-game set. So before we get to the lineup, what are your expectations for Noah Syndergaard tonight? If you throw out a stat line for Zach Wheeler yesterday, what would you expect or hope from him today?
I mean, I went over it once we made the trade on the morning show and stuff like that. Look, don't expect 7-8 innings from this guy. That's not who he is anymore. I mean, my hope, because it's the Nationals, it's better. But going forward, you're going to get a lot of 6-inning, 3-run games from him. That is who he is. 5 strikeouts, 1 or 2 walks. That's who he is. Now, being the Nationals, he's going to be extra juiced. The fan base is going to be extra juiced at the park tonight. I'm expecting 6 to 7 innings tonight. I'm expecting him to give up 1 run, and that's it. So we're just going to say it like this. 6 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts tonight. That's how I see
7 Ks.
7 Ks, which is above because he doesn't strike out more than 1 per 9 anymore.
No.
Or, he just doesn't do that.
Right.
But the extra amped up attitude that's he just went from the worst team in the American League, the Angels, into a team that's literally in the playoffs right now as we speak, in a big playoff run. That juice right there, he might have an extra mile per hour or 2, behind on his fastball tonight. So, and you've got a great veteran catcher, one of the best catchers in baseball behind the plate, who it's not going to affect him. It's not like he's coming over here and his first start in a new team is going to be Garrett Stubbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beyond he's got JT Realmuto. And that's not a knock on Garrett Stubbs. It's just going from the Angels to
the best catcher possibly in baseball. Yeah.
So,
right. So, and it doesn't hurt that he has a familiar face behind that has his back out in center field. So you keep talking about the juice and the energy.
True familiar
that this
faces.
team.
Don't forget. Don't forget Zach Wheeler and him were former teammates.
That's
Don't forget about that. When he comes into that clubhouse for the first time yesterday or today, who's the first person that walks up to him?
Zach Wheeler.
Zach Wheeler. Welcome home, brother.
100% correct. So you keep talking about the juice, the energy that this ball club that can have, that Noah Syndergaard will have tonight. Well, how about the juice that this lineup gets back tonight? So let's get into that. Kyle Schwarber leading off in left field, followed by Rhys Hoskins in the 2-hole at first base. Alec Boehm stays in the 3-hole. Want to get your thoughts on that. At third base, JT cleaning up again at catcher. Nick Castellanos in the 5-hole in right field. Derek Hall DHing in the 6-hole. Gene Segura back at second base in the 7-hole. Bryson Stott at short in the 8-hole. And wrapping up your lineup, Brandon Marsh in center field. Phil, thoughts on this lineup? how much better does just 2 little tweaks at the back end make the lineup as a whole look compared to the other day when you're running out Herrera, Vierling? How much better does it look?
It looks great. And this lineup is telling me something massively. That when Bryce, we've been talking about, when Segura and Harper are back, how does the lineup look? When Bryce Harper comes back, this is still going to be the lineup. Harper will be in the 3-hole. Bohm might drop to the 5-hole. But I think this tells you that Segura, he likes Schwarber in that leadoff spot. He is not going to remove him from that. He likes Hoskins in the 2-hole. We've been winning with this top of the order. So he's not going to change it. Now, I suggested putting Harper in the 4-hole. I know a lot of people say you can't not have Harper come up in the first inning. I get that. But there's a thought process in my mind seeing this, that Real Muto is not a cleanup hitter, big picture. That Real Muto everybody just gets bumped down one. Obviously, Hall comes out when Bryce Harper comes back. This is going to be the lineup with Bryce in the 4-hole and everybody just bumped down one spot. I think that's telling me very big what the rest of the season is going to look like for this team.
That's a very big possibility. It'll be interesting. And again, it's a good problem to have if you're Rob Thompson. This isn't a problem where you got to figure out what guy to pluck here, what guy to put here. When Bryce comes back, it's not, oh no, what do we do now? It's, oh nice, what do I get to do now? Right. So you're probably right. I know it's only his first game back, so maybe we're overthinking things here. But
he was hitting in the minors in his rehab sits. He was getting a lot of base hits.
Exactly.
So he was actually in good form right from the get-go in his rehab.
Right. So you're right. He does like Reese. He does like Kyle and Reese in that 1-2 hole. The Bohm thing was interesting to me. That's why I asked you, because it's not like the other night when he slid Bohm up to the 3-hole. It wasn't just because JT was out of the lineup and got a night off. He's consistently putting him there. JT is the one piece I'm not comfortable with here in the cleanup spot.
Yeah,
this sounds incredibly odd. I'd rather have Derek Hall in the cleanup spot tonight than JT and slide those two down, or flop JT and Hall. But either way, this lineup looks 100% better than what we've seen before Gene Segura came back, before Brandon Marsh was acquired. And again, we know he could struggle at the plate. I'm not acting like Brandon Marsh is going to come in here and hit for 300, hit for 280. But I have more hope for Brandon Marsh than when Odubel Herrera came to the plate and swung at a ball that went between his legs, than when Mickey Moniak was here. Vierling's interesting, but come on, Vierling is not an everyday player. So I have hope for it. Love this lineup. Love what Thompson.
The only thing I'm going to say is with Hall, I know you say people are way too in love with Derek Hall, in my opinion.
No, I just think his power.
He hit so many home runs right from the get-go. I get it. But Derek Hall, when Bryce Harper comes back, he's gone. He's gone. He outside of his first couple games when he hit 3 home runs in 4 days, or 3 home runs in 4 at bats, whatever it was, that really hasn't really done much since then. So Derek Hall, you could put him in the 4-hole, which then puts JT in the 5 and Castellanos in the 6-hole. But Derek Hall, he's a one-trick pony. If he doesn't hit a home run,
I know. I just meant because of his pop, because of his ability to hit the long ball, more so than what JT.
But since his first week here, he's hit 1 home run.
It's fair.
So his pop really
I'm not
special.
Totally disagreeing.
So I don't like JT in the cleanup spot. But JT in the cleanup spot gives me, if your 1, 2, 3 guy are getting on base, and when we get to bets, there's a reason why, I want that. And all. JT can drive them in. Castellanos, is starting to heat up, can drive them in. I have more confidence in them driving Reese or Bohm in if they get on base than Derek Hall at this point.
Sure. And Castellanos, it's funny, right? Because we're not even discussing him being there. And that's where he was for the first 2.5, 3 months of his Phillies tenure this season. So I think the goal is for him to continue to get back into a rhythm. And if and when Bryce comes back, you could potentially see that 3-4 spot go back to the way it was if Castellanos heats up. But if he, just stays around what he is, you can't have him in the cleanup spot moving forward. All right, Phil, let's get to I don't know if you have any keys to victory, a key to this. There's nothing. there's nothing difficult to say about this game. You're not facing Spencer Strider and the Braves, and you have to figure out how to attack them. You're going against a guy who doesn't have a win on the season, who you tore up last time, who hasn't gone past 4 innings in his last 3 or 4 starts, with a team that has absolutely nobody in their lineup that strikes fear in the opposing pitcher's eyes. What do the Phils got to do tonight, and will they get the win?
They need to make a statement. They need to come out and put their foot on the throat. Boot to ass. What movie was that from? Boot to ass.
That's The Rock. The Rock says that all the time.
No. There was a movie. I want to say like an 80s movie that says, I got to put my boot to ass.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I want to say it was like a Lethal Weapon movie or a
could be
cheesy movie like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what they need to do. Foot on throat and just say, yo, the Cubs thing, that was a blip on the radar.
Yep.
That's not going to happen anymore. We got all these easy games coming up. We're taking them. We're dominating them. And that's what they got to do. They need to come out and win 9-1, 8-2, whatever it may be. I don't remember what I predicted this morning, but that's kind of what they need to do, is just come out and make a big, bold statement that there's no doubt this team's for real.
Leave no doubt. 100%.
Leave no doubt in people's minds. We don't need David Robertson coming in the 9th inning in a 1-run game. That's not what they need to do.
No.
They need to come out this entire series and make that kind of a statement.
I agree with you 110%. Because even two of I know they swept the Pirates, and I said they had a great mindset that series. They did, but games 2 and 3 went to extra innings. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that you can't have a close win against the Nationals, but specifically tonight to start game 1 of this set, come out, foot on throat, leave no doubt. Do not let a bad team, I say this all the time when it comes to the Eagles in football in the past, or the Sixers, do not let bad teams hang around and even give them a thought that they can hang with you and win this game. Don't let that happen. It cannot be the 6th, 7th inning, and this is a 1-2 run game, or else you could see something bad, crazy happen in the later innings, and that's what you don't want. But I agree. I think that for the first time in a long time, I am confident. It's weird to say. I am confident in the Phillies handling their business versus a bad team. I'm confident with the way they respond to things. I'm confident with the way they set the tone to certain series as of late, and I think they'll do that tonight. I'm going to go Phillies. I think they score 7 tonight. I think the Nats score 2 or 3. I'll say 7-2 Phillies win tonight.
What did I say this morning on the morning show?
I don't remember. I don't even know if you said a score. Did you?
I don't know.
Cole might have said a score when no one asked for his opinion. We know he does that a lot, but
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I said, if I said anything. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's a 7-1 game tonight. You know,
I hope so.
I would not be surprised with a 7-1 final score. Like I said, Syndergaard's going to come out. He'll give up 1 run. Our bullpen will have no pressure on them if we're up 6 or 7-1. So we don't have to worry about Familia coming in and giving up 3 runs in the 9th inning anymore.
Let Bilotti throw the 9th.
Yeah, I'm confident that this team could come out tonight
I agree. It's
and
a
win
weird,
7-1.
It's a weird feeling. No, it's a weird feeling.
Which is exactly when the Phillies come out and show.
Yeah. It's exactly when things go south for this team, and then they'll throw us back out in the water. Then they'll reel us back in late August. But no, I am. And how about a win like the Braves just put on us in a bullpen game the other day? How about a nice explosive 5th inning, a nice 12-1, 13-2? No, I'm just kidding. I'll take 7-1. I'll take 7-2. I really don't care. Just get the job done.
I'll take 3-0 again, like I predicted yesterday.
100%. 100%. Phil, we got predictions. Went over the lineup. Talked about Syndergaard's debut. The last piece of business here is your best bet of the night. Now I know you're a parlay guy, and I kind of did the same thing. I didn't pick out one particular bet that I've had for this team. I don't know if you've been keeping score, but I am 0-3 now on the pregame show Best Bets.
So I hope that none of that is involved in my parlay.
No, listen. The first of which I had Aaron Nola over 7.5 Ks. He threw 7 on the dot. Okay. I picked Hoskins on Sunday against the Pirates to go for 2+ bases. Although I said you can take JT, but I like Hoskins' value. Everybody hit Hoskins had one single. He went 1 for 5, so I missed by one base.
And I think that
there.
was in like the 9th inning or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
I know he was like 0 for 4 at one point.
It was a bloop
Only
single.
guy without a hit.
I was holding out hope there. And then me and George both had the wrong bets. It was the blowout game against Atlanta. It wasn't the best of luck that night. But
all I hear is excuses from you on your betting.
I'm like Cole, dude. That's all I got right now. I can't gloat at the moment. So, what do you have for me?
All right, so I was looking because I haven't played any baseball bets since the first series against.
What happens when you come on DSM pregame live?
I hate betting baseball, so I threw a tiny little parlay because I started looking. I'm like, all right, what bets am I going to make tonight? I knew you were going to ask me for bets. Then I saw that the Phillies are only minus 1.5 tonight. I'm like, well, that's a short. Like, I have no doubt that the Phillies will win by more than one run tonight. So I'm like, all right, let me just check Noah Syndergaard's numbers. I'm like, all right, and I'm like, all right, 5+ Ks. He was like minus 170 or minus 200, something like that. That he's going to have 5 or more Ks. I'm like, all right, let me par those two things together. And then I saw the lineup, and I'm like, the confidence that Bohm's going to feel being left in the 2-hole now that Segura is back is going to keep him confident and boosting. 2 total bases or more for Alex Bohm. So I parlayed the minus 1.5 Phillies, 5+ Ks for Noah Syndergaard, 2+ bases for Alec Bohm. It comes out to a plus 400. And I threw a couple shekels on it. I think that's a really good value right there. And honestly, if you just want to pick any one of those and bet them, I think all of them are pretty strong bets.
They are. They're right around even money or right around that area. Hope I don't lay the jinx to you because 3 of your bets are in my 5-leg parlay.
Why go 5? 5-leg parlays never hit, bro.
Oh, it's coming. Well, no, I'm laying heavy Phillies hitters, right? So here's what I got. I have JT Realmuto, 1+ base. I have Rhys Hoskins, 1+ base. I have Alec Bohm, 1+ base. I have Nick Castellanos, 2+ bases. And I have Noah Syndergaard, 3+ strikeouts, just to get the odds up a little bit. It's plus 370. It's slightly under yours. Against Espino.
Because you have Syndergaard 3 Ks, it really doesn't affect me, and Bohm only 1 base. Yeah. Plus 370, you said that is?
Yeah. It's slightly below yours. But yeah, I'm expecting a heavy offensive output. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pretty ticked off.
I don't think it's a big deal with the Ks. No,
it shouldn't be, specifically against the Nationals. If they were going up against almost anybody else, if this was the Mets series, if this was the Braves last series, and I'm naming good teams, what's a mediocre? If they were going against the Marlins, I wouldn't probably say he's going to K 5 or 6. That's a little risky to me in 5 or 6 innings. But against the Nationals, yeah. I think he's K-ing 5.
I would not. I said 5+. You said 3+ on Noah Syndergaard. It would not surprise me if he came out tonight and threw 10 Ks. Just because of the juice and the adrenaline. You always see that in pitchers. Juice, exactly. Juice. Every time you say juice, you got to take a sip.
Juice.
The adrenaline, man. The adrenaline.
I can't wait. It is, what time is it? It's 6:59. First pitch is at 7:05. So, Phil, let's wrap up this DSM pregame live. Phillies, Nationals preview, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who commented, specifically you, Parcero, and whoever's going to watch this on the replay. Guys, check us out on Twitter at DSM_media. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. It's all free and it's daily content. Multiple shows a day. And if
basically
you feel
like from the 2 of us,
if you feel like taking money out of your pockets, head on over to our TeePublic site where you can purchase some DSM merch and support Phil, myself, anybody here at Team DSM. Guys, have a great night. Enjoy the game. Go Phils. Ring the bell.
Nope.